Hi guys, it's Abingdon. I am standing outside of the Abingdon Watch Company, our new flagship store, which we are opening this week. It's our grand opening week, and I wouldn't be doing this on such an important week if this wasn't so important. But there's been some recent news in both the watch industry and the political spectrum which needs to be addressed. And so I am about half an hour away from what is this? It's like our fourth day of our grand opening. We are having this big watch week down in downtown Las Vegas. And this is something that I need to share with you guys, and I need to put a call out to President Trump to say we need to come to the White House and talk. And it's not just me. There's a lot of other watch executives watch company executives here in the United States that I've already spoken to today, and we want to discuss with you about how we can give you maybe a better opportunity than what happened yesterday when you met with all of the Swiss business executives from the watch industry. So if you did not know about this recently, it just made the news. I'm going to read this for you. I have the news part right here. What happened is U.S. President Donald Trump met with a delegation of Swiss business leaders, including executives from the watchmaking industry, to discuss trade relations between Switzerland and the United States. You had the CEO of Rolex, you had the chairman of Richemont, you also had some attendees like the co-founder of Partners Group, which controls Breitling. So there was quite a group. And this group had reached out and asked the White House if they could meet with the president. So it was at the behest of all these Swiss executives. They got the meeting yesterday, and it was an informal meeting, but it was discussing, you probably guessed it, tariffs, trade agreements, and just the international relations between Switzerland and the United States. Why would they want to do this? Well, if you know about all of the tariffs that have been happening this year, Switzerland in August had a 39% tariff that was imposed on them. So anything that is purchased from Switzerland imported into the United States is subject to a 39% tariff. You can imagine that that drastically affected Swiss watches coming into this country. I do know that Switzerland, their number one export is not just clocks and watches, but that is one of the top ones, but also pharmaceuticals, precious metals, and gold, especially gold. They have a lot of gold there. So what basically happened is September, I want to say I read somewhere that there was a 55% drop in Swiss imports. So that's billions of dollars if you look at those industries, pharmaceuticals, precious metals, watches. And so there is a big reason why these guys would want to meet with the president. So I totally get it, Switzerland. You guys are suffering from this tariff. But guess who else is suffering? America. And we are at such a great opportunity here that we can bring American watchmaking back because of this. So if you don't know the history of American watchmaking, the Americans were the number one watch producer in the world back in the late 1800s. I'm talking about old American watch companies like Elgin, Bulova, Walton, Illinois Watch Company, Hamilton. These guys were producing tens of thousands of pieces and shipping them all over the world. And it wasn't until the 1900s, late 1800s, 1900s, that the Swiss had come over, other countries had come over, seen how good the Americans were doing it and making watches. They brought back machinery to their countries. They imported intelligence, so took a lot of Americans to their countries. And that is one of the primary reasons why the Swiss have such a stronghold on watchmaking, because they learned from Americans. I have been a staunch supporter of wanting to bring American watchmaking back to this country. Well, I mean, American watchmaking would be in this country, but bringing it back and elevating it to the levels that it was in the 1800s. So I have today, even though it's been our grand opening and we had the mayor come out on Monday and we've got huge sellout events Thursday and Friday later on this week when the public of Las Vegas is coming out to check us out, I have spent the last 3 hours on the phone with executives of watch brands that are based here in the United States, some that are huge and some that are smaller independent brands like myself, and said, guys, if we can get together, we need to have a conversation with President Trump, because if he's having those conversations with the Swiss and with those executives, then he definitely needs to be talking to American executives as well for the watch companies. So here's my ask, President Trump, if you would like to have a real discussion with American business and American watchmakers that want to bring watchmaking back to the United States. I would like to offer a meeting, have an invitation to the White House to come and sit down with you and your team and see how we can invest in manufacturing, invest in assembly, production facilities, and get American watchmaking back to the levels where it was the #1 producer of watches worldwide. We did it a century ago. We can definitely do it again. So that is my ask. This was a very, very short video, but I did want to get this out today because I still have to get this party started. So if you are in Las Vegas and you want to come talk to me about this week, by all means, we have a public opening Thursday and Friday, 4 p.m. at 353 East Bonneville Avenue, Suite 171. It looks like this right behind me. We'll have taken over the entire sidewalk. You can come in, see our watches, see what we're producing here on site, and talk about American watchmaking and how it can be great again. So thank you very much. My name is Abingdon Mullen. I'm the founder and CEO of Abingdon Watches, and I look forward to meeting you, President Trump.